Welcome to KAPOW. Today's episode is brought to you by Joey Statham, Realtor. Give him a call at Copperleaf Properties at 256-494-7544. Thank you, Joey Statham, for always sponsoring KAPOW. Butler Electric. Give them a call at I don't even have their phone number today. How
Butler
about that?
Electric.
Give the fellows over at Butler Electric, the contractors, a call. They're great people. They'll take care of you. And then Moss Heating and Cooling, guys that take care of you. Any kind of heating and cooling needs that you have, they are wonderful people, great people. Find them on social media at Moss Heating and Cooling. And then our friends at Clinic 5. 1 second, 1 minute, 1 day at a time. Anything that you need, if you have addiction or if you have family members with addiction, they can point you in the right direction of getting counseling, or even at sometimes the last resort is medication. Give them a call at 256-952-2709. And then our friend Craig Ford, he is running for mayor of Gadsden. And today we are in the house. What's up, J-Dub White?
You know, these are one of these special days you get up and you know you're going to have fun. We have
that every day.
That's true. With this gentleman who is captured, well, I don't know what the right word is. Everyone's talking about this guy here, running for mayor of the great city of Gadsden, Mr. Michael Shell. Welcome.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate y'all being here. Appreciate y'all being here. I'm glad to be here with you.
Good.
But my goodness, we learned about you during the rendering plant last year and the stupidity of the mayor and the council, in my humble opinion. We're glad that you exposed the truth. You know, the truth is important, and we're going to try to share a little truth here today, but appreciate getting to be. Yes, sir.
Like it.
Right here. Make Gadsden grow again. We've got to. It's not optional. You know, Gadsden has been declining for many, many years. More than Sherman's term, even more than Steve Means' term. And there was another guy that we talked about that was Mayor Nolan in there for one term. So we've had three mayors in around 40 years or so in Gadsden. Three mayors. I'm a term limits guy. We'll talk about that later here, but
good. I like term limits.
2 terms. 2 terms is enough for any elected office. If a dog catcher is elected, 2 terms is enough for that dog catcher. There's somebody else that can do the dog catching equally as good as that original person.
I'm okay with these limits as long as you don't put buffet limits of 2 times in the line. Then
maybe we can do 3 on that.
Okay, I'm in.
Three terms, 3 trip limit.
3 trip limit.
3 trip limit.
I like it.
So there's a lot going on with Michael Shell. This is a hugely contested mayoral race right now. You've got a lot of people throwing their hat in the ring, and it's not over, from what I understand. I think there's another one that's
maybe 2
more that's going to throw. One for sure is going to throw their hat in the ring. So you've got a lot of people. You got from Michael Shell. You've got Heather Brothers New. You have Craig Ford. You have Dr. Jacobs. You have Robert Avery. You got one more for sure.
But you can't say that name yet.
Can't say it. They haven't announced yet. But nonetheless, it's heavily contested. And so, with that being said, as a little city of 35,000 people, it's a lot of people to split votes between.
It really is. Can I stop you right there for a second? Before we get into any of that, let's try to get people to know you. Some people watching are not going to know your background, your past, what you're about, what you're for.
Appreciate that.
So let's just let you get started. Then we'll make fun of you.
Well, wait a minute. Hey. No, we're good. I'm 60 years old. Was born in 61 when Gadsden had 55,000 people. We were just talking about population. Now we're down to 35,000 people. Thereabouts, maybe even less. That's the reason I'm running for mayor. My theme is simple: make Gadsden grow again. I tried this 4 years ago, and I didn't make it on the ballot because I didn't get the financial document mailed off the same day. I want to put this out front. We sign up at 4 o'clock on Friday afternoon. The document had to be mailed the same day. It was a new regulation the state put in.
I did not know.
And I screwed that up. You know, I mailed it the next day, certified. So it was still there on Monday. It couldn't have gotten there any earlier because it's Friday. So it still gets there, but I'm disqualified for that. So that's on me. It's done. That's what it is. Pissed off at the time, I guarantee you.
Do you know Harvey Martin by chance?
I do know Mr. Martin.
Okay.
And a good man. He's
had
had his obstacles in
He had a
life too.
similar thing, yeah.
You know, we've all had obstacles, but you want to know about me. I'm a truck driver. I got out of the Navy, went off in the Navy in 1980 when I voted for Ronald Reagan. My first election I ever voted for was 1980. Spent November for Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's in Great Lakes, Mistakes, what a lot of people called it. You know, Chicago, Great Lakes, for boot camp. I'm proud to be a Republican. To my knowledge, I will be the first Republican mayor elected in Gadsden. I don't know I know for the last 60 years, but I don't know that we've ever had a Republican mayor in Gadsden. It's a nonpartisan election. Well, that changes today. It's partisan. Politics matter. Your beliefs matter. You know, if you're a Christian, it matters if you're a Christian or if you're not a Christian. We don't hate you if you're not a Christian. We're not going to shoot you like the Muslims do. We're not doing that. We want people to know Jesus. And that's going to be part of my campaign as well. I decided I'm not going to get out and work this hard, that at least I don't get a 30-second commercial in for Jesus somewhere.
Good.
You know, because it's one thing to be a church member. We talked about that a little earlier here. It's another thing to be a Christian. Jesus matters in our life. And a lot of our problems center from that. Our problems are spiritual in nature, yet we try to regulate it. You know, the 10 Commandments was a pretty good list, far better than my 10-point plan. And if we could just go by them, we'd be in a lot better shape.
I can't disagree with that, Pastor.
Nope.
But as far as me, I've been a truck driver. I got out of the Navy in '85. Been a truck driver all these years. Owner-operator since '94. Mm-hmm. So I owned a truck, driven every state. No, I did. I flew to Hawaii. I didn't drive.
I was going to say, I want to see documentation of that Hawaii
but
trip.
I'll show you logs. Still on a logbook. But been to Alaska twice. Yeah. You know, so I've driven, you know, through Canada. 3 million miles accident-free, ticket-free. I haven't had a speeding ticket in 20 years. Now, knock on wood.
Because Rainbow City going to get you as soon as you pull out of here.
Yeah. What I realized at age 40, this is simple, and this is important. Jesus was important too. We'll come back to that a little bit. It's important because I finally realized at age 40, if you don't go over the speed limit, you don't have to worry about a ticket.
Well, there's some truth there.
And it really has been. That's now being a truck driver. You know, we've got different levels of authority. So, you know, somebody can still stop you and want to inspect your truck or look at your logbook. Truck drivers
and they should
know this, and they should. Well, okay, all right. Yes, that's good. They should. We need standards, right? And
sure.
The level of officers we have in Alabama specifically, I'm proud of. I mean, I've been stopped. I had never had a DOT inspection in Alabama all these years until the last 2 or 3. And I have had at least 3 in the last 3 years in Alabama. These guys have been great. They have been super nice. You know, some states, California, for instance, in particular, some people just want to find something wrong. And you can find something wrong if you look hard enough. You can make something wrong if it needs to be made wrong. But, I mean, there's been a lot of problems there. Well, but anyway, I've been a truck driver. You can tell I can talk a little bit. Trucking is important. If you know a truck driver, tell them thank you today for what they did.
It's the backbone of the country.
Everything you have, these microphones we're talking on right now, everything you have in your life, practically, got to you by a truck. It doesn't matter if it was on a plane, train, or ship. It got to you by a truck. And a driver. The truck didn't drive itself. They're trying to work on that. But I don't see that happening anytime soon. With some products, clearly. Not every product.
No way. Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
You a lot about you. Married?
Yes, sir. Married. Married to a Philippine. I've been divorced, but married to Michelle. She's from about 500 miles south of Manila, which is kind of like living in Center or Boaz, you know, very countryside rural, you know, just like we've got cornfields, they have rice fields. So very countryside, half a mile from the beach, you know, really suffer when we go over there.
Yeah.
It's a hard life.
I'd like to suffer.
It's a hard life.
Speaking of, you talked about law enforcement, just kind of alluded to it in a segue, a little funny, so we'll use that as a segue. The city of Gadsden has a police department that is, well, some would say that they're struggling right now. They're need more people to work, need more people to stay. Is there a plan to give law enforcement incentives to actually stay? And because in the city of Gadsden, let's just face it, I'm not getting shot at for $12 to $15 an hour. Not going to do it. And that's not appealing to people that are young and that want to go out and get a job. And that why not come to Rainbow City when you can get paid better? Your retirement is better. Your insurance after you retire is better. So is there a plan there? Just kind of to talk about law enforcement a little bit. You said you love law enforcement. So, because that's
did I say that?
You did.
Did I say I love law? I did. I don't.
You know?
But I do.
Well, okay,
but I do.
Michelle
But I
does not
do.
love law enforcement. You heard it here
So
first.
clearly,
He don't like you.
law enforcement is not on the top of your agenda. He's a truck driver first.
Now, you did disrespect California, and so do you want to defund the police?
No, sir. We support our officers.
Is California a state still?
Well, it's the People's Republic of California.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, it's a little different country.
It's a little different.
No, we love our officers. We appreciate everybody. Being in the military, I was a photographer of all things, but you still do security and everything else. And especially in the Navy, there's 60 jobs. So when you're aboard ship, you can't call somebody up to do something you don't know how to do. So you got to know how to do a lot of things. Officers, we appreciate everybody. Our fire department, you're a good mayor here in Rainbow City. Work for the city of Gadsden, the fire department. And I want to apologize to Mayor Joe for the way the city has treated him as mayor. My goodness, they've just, I'm trying to think of how to put this modestly. They've really treated him like crap. Yeah, there's another S word, but I'll just say crap. We like Mayor Joe. He's done a good job here in Rainbow City, so we're proud of him. But our officers, that was a real question. Yes, we love and respect our officers. Even if you don't, you better learn to. Yeah.
No. As Michael Shell's learning right here on the show.
No, authority comes from God. Every mayor, our Sheriff Horton, we love Horton, the governor, the president. The power originates from these entities. So when you respect an officer, and I jokingly tell many that I respect your badge. I don't necessarily like you. You stop me, so I don't like you. But I respect your badge. Yes, sir.
Awesome.
No, sir.
Sure.
I'm saying this jokingly. Don't anybody go do that and copy what I'm saying word for word. But, joke a little. You don't know what call the officer was just on before. You don't know how he was harassed. And so, people escalate things. Just don't say anything.
10-2.
There you go. Okay. But pay. We've got to review the budget. We've got a lot of budget problems. Gadsden has got a budget of. I'm getting back to the pay. I'm getting there. Okay. Gadsden has got a budget of $53 million a year, thereabouts. $53 million. That's a lot of money. However, we spend about $19 million on police and fire department. Now, I want to have a complete audit of our finances if I'm fortunate enough to be mayor. I don't trust the numbers that I've looked at. The budget, previously was 200 pages. I think it's down to 135 on the fiscal year for 2022. Okay. The numbers, we've got indebtedness of $175 million as best I can calculate, with bonds, expenses, loans, obligations.
What was that amount? 101?
About $175 million.
Okay.
That's and I could be wrong. Maybe it's 200, maybe it's 150. It's hard to calculate. Right. I'm not an accountant, and you'd have to be an attorney and an accountant to do this.
On TV.
Luther Abel's a good friend of mine.
My wife lets me.
We're
very much.
I've talked to him about this, and we're going to we need some expert advice on what the finances really are, and so we're going to now to the pay. I didn't mean to get that long.
You went to Albuquerque to get to Chicago.
I like it.
Next year, there you go. Yeah. 2022 is next year. That's the election. Why don't we make our pay $22 an hour for our fire department and our police officers? Not the starting pay, the top pay. Maybe we're going to start at 15, whatever the starting pay is, and graduate there at an expedited rate. If you're there 6 months, maybe we'd go split it. 1 year you'd be at $22.
Well, let me ask this, and I ask this out of ignorance.
If the budget will allow that, we've got to budget it.
Sure.
I ask this out of ignorance. What exactly is the pay for city?
I can find out
the
real
Gadsden.
quick.
Because I don't know that number.
It varies. Most police officers in a larger city like Gadsden, maybe here in Rainbow City, other places too, do security work. So they work. They do their job as an officer, and then they will do security for other locations. So they supplement their income that way.
Look at about they say about 43,000, somewhere around in there.
So it's okay, but it could be better. And
Well, that's under what the median income is for the state average, right?
Right. The city of Gadsden median income is about $37,000 for the
State
for the
is
city,
54?
something like that.
Yeah.
But the city of Gadsden is about it's 32,000 is the median income in the city of Gadsden.
Okay.
So it's yeah.
Well, because my voice is what it is, Jeff. Will you read this question by Erin? She has a very good question.
Yeah, I'll put it on the screen. It says, well, hold on a minute, Aaron. I'm sorry. It's malfunctioning. What are your thoughts on working with other mayors in cities and districts? Do you believe in working together with other mayors for the benefit of the county, obviously? Thank you, Aaron Knowles, for that question.
very good. Sure, as much as we can. Any would be an improvement. So from what we've had, Gadsden, they've kind of been like a dictator. We've got to do better. Clearly, personally, I love your mayor. Joe, I'm impressed with him. Southside Mayor, Ms. Snyder, doing a great job. We can do better. There's no reason. We're a community. We're separate entities as cities, but we are in Etowah County, and we need to. My theme. What is my theme? Make Gadsden grow again. Mm-hmm. Now, that could be a theme for every city, and should be, by the way. But if Gadsden will grow again, it will help Etowah County and surrounding counties. Sure. It will help everybody. If we get connecting flights, and I know we're going to get there to that point. Mm-hmm. If we get connecting flights at our airport, that will revolutionize our county and area. We've got to work together where we can. We can find common ground.
Sure. Brian Stanfield, thanks for watching, buddy. The biggest Alabama fan I know. And not the obnoxious Alabama fan. He actually knows football good. Stanfield.
What's up, buddy?
So Mr. Tony said the pay at the fire department in Gadsden is $17 per hour.
He said it starts out at $10.64.
$10.64.
Tops out at $17. I don't know. I read the salary at the fire department in Gadsden is between $33. If it's $10 now, then it's lower than $33.
Yeah.
But between $33 and $56. So I don't know.
That's still
probably close though. I don't know that for a fact. Thank you, Tony, for saying that.
If I can say, from what I just looked at in the last week now, we're spending. Now, I don't know where all this money's going. That's the whole problem. That's what we've got to look into. We're spending, and this is amazing, $19 million a year on fire department and police department.
Well, that's
It's not going to pay, clearly.
Right, that includes equipment and safety equipment.
Upgrades.
You got to have upgrades.
Facilities.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's a lot. But it entails a lot. I do know when in 2003, when Sherman went into office, the city of Gadsden had no money, zero money. They were in the red. Now they have a surplus. And that had happened in the city of Gadsden for a long time. We're very good friends with Mayor Means, former Mayor Means. Now bump into him periodically when we're down at the coast.
Love Steve. He's a good guy.
He is, but when Steve was mayor, the city of Gadsden had no money, zero. They were always operating in the red. That is a known fact. It's there. But now there's money there. So how to use that money, that's a good plan. Go in and get an audit and let's figure out how to use the money that we have. And use
I
it
love Sherman, believe it or not. I love Sherman.
I
I don't like Sherman.
It's because you still own him bleachers. That's the only reason you don't love him, because you got to run for coach. That's the only reason.
But I appreciate y'all. It's a good show today.
I think
I
it is.
appreciate what y'all do.
Hey, another question here. We're just going to jump around.
I like that. That's a good question.
What's your plan on homeless?
Love it. That's good.
In the
Thank
city
you.
of Gadsden.
I don't want to be homeless.
Then you better win this election. No.
Me.
It's funny you bring that up.
Actually,
homelessness is not funny.
Brian.
Yeah.
But believe me,
Is that?
Brian, I believe, asked that question.
Brian Butcher. I appreciate
Brian
you,
Butcher.
Brian.
Thank
Yeah,
you,
very
Brian.
good. He's a good friend.
Good question.
May be one of our new councilmen. He is my campaign manager.
Oh, okay.
So Brian's watching.
We appreciate
Appreciate
the
you
question.
watching today, Brian. Believe it or not, and I, if you had a Bible right here, I got a Bible in my phone. I got Bibles.
As many as you need.
I'm an owner-operator
Yes,
because of being homeless. I got evicted out of an apartment, a family-owned apartment, back in the 90s. Packed up all my crap, put it in a self-storage, lived out of a truck for a solid year, company truck, and bought my first truck.
Amen.
So I am a homeless story. Can everybody be that successful? If they did the work. I mean, success is what you make it, and you've got to do steps. If you take steps up a ladder, you miss a step, you might have a problem. You've got to do steps in life. Do we have a homeless problem? Many of the homeless that I've encountered and I've talked to over the last 5-6 years, in Gadsden specifically, are people that have gotten out of prison. They've come to Gadsden for, I don't know why. We've got our city on prison walls that tell people to come to Gadsden because we're a great city. We don't want to make Gadsden grow again with homeless people. And we're not, by the way. We are absolutely not. If you want to be homeless, you can be homeless, but not in Gadsden. We're going to have a program for 30 days, maybe a tent city like Joe Ohio has in Arizona, that we provide a tent. Maybe hot showers, maybe food. We're going to help people how we can, but we're not going to make them comfortable because work takes care of a lot of problems. Make Gadsden grow again. Growth takes care of a lot of problems. When you work hard, you sleep better. When you work hard, you've got an income, you've got money, you can make the choices that you want in life. So we appreciate that question. We care about home, we care about everybody, but it's not the government's business to run your life. We want to help people and get the government out of the way as much as possible.
While we're talking homeless, Jeff, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Well, I need to I'm going to interrupt you. We're having technical difficulties
Are we?
with Facebook, but the recording is still seamless. You'll get the full episode. Just hang on. So we're at the 21:58 mark in the program. Everything will be seamless when in the rebroadcast. It may jump back in. It may be jerky, but you can go back and watch everything that you've missed in just a few minutes. So just keep that in mind.
Horrible weather.
Yeah. So go ahead. Sorry, I just want
No,
to
my thought on that is I just want to talk about homeless. I just want to give a shout out to Freedom Church.
Yes, sir.
For what they're doing with the new Freedom Center in Gadsden and trying to get these people in, like you're trying to get them showers, get them jobs.
Bruce Word is doing a great job.
Amazing.
Yes, and I'll try to get this 1 minute. Churches are a big part. As mayor of Gadsden, I will depend and seek pastors and churches to help not only Gadsden but Etowah, because faith matters. When we were not Christians, always. We weren't born. Nobody was born a Christian, so we know what it's like not to be a Christian. Well, we've been there. We see people, doing different things. Oh, they did some stupid things. Well, you can halfway understand if. And Christian, and no, the way I say it is I'm a truck driver. I'm a Christian, but I am not a saint. Well, we are made saints through Jesus. Jesus died for us. That's important. But when you're a Christian, your life is different. You've got a different set of values, a different belief system, different actions. Not every day. We're not. I guess I'm trying to overemphasize that. But just because we're Christian does not make you perfect. Oh. But it gives you a different guidance system, a different GPS.
That's true. Let's get to some of your highlights here. Eliminate the Gadsden 2% employment tax.
Amen.
Talk a little bit about that, Michael, please.
No thriving city in the world punishes work with a local city employment tax. Now, I said that pretty plain, but I'm going to say it again. No thriving city in the world punishes work with a city employment tax. Now, I know you talk to the people in Gadsden. It's an occupational tax. Mm-hmm. It's an employment tax. You've got to pay to work. There's no benefits for it. There's no deductions for it. It's just a flat-out fee for doing your job. We're going to eliminate this tax. Is it going to take some work? Am I telling you we're going to eliminate it the first day in office? No. It will take probably 6 months to a year to manage our budget, get it in order. If we've got increased sales and people, if a business owner is doing $500,000 a year and he does $1 million a year, He's making more money. He's collecting more sales taxes. If we have more businesses doing that, we're collecting more sales tax. We need to collect our money honestly by sales, not punishing work.
Do we know what all of that money goes to? We're not residents of the city of Gadsden, but we've heard a little bit about it. What does that 2% go?
We would love for you to be in Gadsden one of these days. We're just up the street
I'm close.
here.
I'm very close.
You almost. I will never live in Gadsden, sir. In the history of ever, I will not live in Gadsden.
Ever. Well, and
I'm the Tally guy, but
I'm
a Rainbow City transplant.
Understand. And some people, and for obvious reasons, but we are going to make Gadsden habitable.
Hey,
we're going to make appealing. We can. We've got good people. Gadsden is as good as it is because of the people, not because of the government.
I need Gadsden to be successful, right? I work in Gadsden. I'm in Gadsden every day, and I spend more hours in Gadsden than I do in Rainbow City or Tyler, no question. But I'm only going to lay my head in two places, a Tyler or Rainbow City. Well, yeah, because when I take a nap at work, I'm not laying my head down. So, yeah. I'm only laying my head down in those two cities.
You just lay back.
I just lay back in the chair.
Okay.
Sleep a little bit.
And something you just said, you work in Gadsden.
I do.
We appreciate that.
Yeah.
And you can appreciate what I'm saying about this tax.
Absolutely.
And it pisses a lot of people off.
I'm going to pull up my check stub and show you how much tax is coming out.
Exactly. Yeah. And we're...
FICA? What the? Social, so what?
Yeah, all these details. But yeah, it's not a... It tells you a lot about a city. If they're going to punish your work, why would I bring my business here? If I was a millionaire, and I am not, but why would I bring a business here and I'm going to pay myself $100,000, $500,000 a year, and I've got to give 2% of my personal check to the city just for bringing my business here?
Yep.
It ain't happening.
Welcome to Gadsden.
So talk a little bit about the what you would like to see the constituents of Gadsden to elect a growth-minded city council. Talk a little bit about what you mean by that in your 10-point plan. I think that's number 3 on your 10-point plan.
Excellent. A growth-minded council. I often say, because I'm seeking votes, I say elect Michael Shell mayor. Mm-hmm. But I often, and I try to say it every time, I maybe miss sometimes, and a brand new 100% Republican growth-minded council. Republican. We don't have any Republicans in Gadsden that I'm aware of now. We've got a couple of independents. What's an independent? A closet Democrat or a Democrat with a different name tag. We've got rhinos in the Republican Party. They're Democrats that have a Republican name tag. I'm talking about genuine people that believe in lower taxes, less government. Less government is part of that. That's a mandate in Gadsden. We've got to have less regulation. You asked me which one was you? This council members. I want to finish up on the members, but I've got another thought here.
Sure.
We need 7 council members. That's not really a tall order. We've got 35,000 people in Gadsden. We need 7 council. We've got 3 already lined up. I'm going to be announcing those in a few more weeks, maybe a month. I'm not going to give any names today, but we're going to have 7 Republican council members that we're going to run together. Michael Shell for mayor, and these will be the 7 council members that we are unified around this 10-point plan. And they will also have their 10-point plan of things they can do in their district.
It's almost like a Baptist sermon.
Hey, all you got to do is add a poem. He's good to go.
Poem and a prayer.
Yeah,
you got the
okay.
sermon
Well,
outlined.
amen. But we can do better. And we've got to have 7 Michael Shell mayor and a brand new 100% Republican growth-minded council. Democrats have ruled Alabama for over 100 years until the last 15 or 20. I think about maybe 18 that in Montgomery that Republicans have had control. So Democrats have deep roots in our state. Their policies have not always been good. We don't hate Democrats. Nobody needs a hate list. You can dislike. We can hate sin and should, but we don't need to hate people. We need to love people.
I agree.
So I'll have Democrats supporting me. Do I support Democrat policies? I can't think of one that I support. I really can't. But I'll have
I can't either.
I'll have independents that support me as mayor. But I'm mentioning this: Republican, Independent, Democrat. Gadsden is a nonpartisan election. It's now partisan. I'm going to be a Republican mayor. I'm proud to be a Republican mayor, and I appreciate your vote and support for us to make Gadsden grow again.
Jason Dodd is a fan of yours, by the way.
Jason knows how to cook chicken at Popeyes. Yeah. And he knows how to cook, period, but I love the red beans and rice at Popeyes.
Said, what happened? I was listening to my buddy. I'm driving. I can't watch. What happened to him?
Well, there's another post, Jason. That's what you get for having church members.
He's driving.
Oh, it'll be on in a minute.
Yeah.
It'll be back. You won't miss a thing, buddy.
But
And there's a commercial for Popeyes. We have an open advertisement slot, though, so I'm going to take that advertisement back, nonetheless.
everything we're talking about, council members, 7 growth-minded council members. Get in touch with me, Michael Shell. That's me. 256 GAD, the real Michael Shell. MichaelShell.us. At Facebook, internet, MichaelShell.us.
Or give Michael a call at 256 Gadsden.
As you can tell, I watch your podcast.
See,
the real Michael Shell.
So I'm impressed. Thank you.
Ask him about the number 4. I want to know. I think people need to know about it. I think
Yeah, build a 25,000 person entertainment venue outdoors at first, maybe.
Isn't that an odd wording? I'm a truck driver. I am not a book writer for sure. Yeah, how do you have like a convention center? I wish I could have one, in 12 months. That takes years of planning. Maybe that'll be a 20-year goal. But in between now and 20 years.
Well, that's tough with a 2-term limit.
Well, we haven't had any dead air. I'm a term limits guy. Okay. 2-term. We're going to set our agenda. It's going to be up to the people to continue electing good people. You're not the first person to say that. I've had a couple of people say 2 terms is not enough. 2 terms is more than enough. If you can't get something done in 8 years, you probably can't get it done.
Well, I have an opinion on that. I think that some positions that are elected, I think it takes 2 terms to understand how to do it. You can't make me believe that you can learn to be sheriff in 2 terms. I think the first term, you're completely learning how to run a jail, do those things. There's some positions that are elected, I think 2 terms is plenty. Yeah. But I think there's some that, hey, we're adults. It's okay to disagree. We can disagree.
Yes, sir. I love that. So, yes.
I just think something like sheriff, and that's okay. No, it's okay. That's perfect.
But we're still sitting at the table.
Absolutely. That's what being adults all about. So I just, something like the sheriff, I'm sure there's other positions. Man, I think it's such a hard job, and it takes so much to do. I don't know that you can get it done in 2 terms. Now carry on to your outdoor venue.
Okay. 2 terms for mayor. 2 terms for councilman. 2 terms. We're termless. That's point number 2 in our 10-point plan. Mm-hmm. You can find this on our website. We're going by this little sheet today. But
I want more than 2 terms out of Mayor Joe Taylor. Sorry.
It was extended a year, so he got.
But with the COVID, it was extended. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You knew that, right?
2 terms is enough for any elected office.
What is I'm saying, but they added an extra year for COVID. Okay. The same Alabama.
But 2 terms is enough for any elected office.
So Michael, you're saying 2 terms is enough?
I think he's saying that 2 terms.
That's 8 years. That's 8 years.
As long as you don't put those limits on my coffee.
But hey, President Trump was in Coleman a few months ago. I can't remember.
Yeah, last President Trump.
There you go. And he was in Coleman with about 50,000 people in a field. That's my idea of an outdoor venue that accommodates, 10, 15, 20,000 people to have concerts and events. Is it what President Trump did, not just in Coleman, he's done it around the country at different locations. Mm-hmm. But we maybe build a $1 million stage, have a nice stage set up. Maybe, and this is my prayer, and maybe somebody's listening today that even is this very person, that they have 500 acres of land or 1,000. They'd be willing to donate to the city of Gadsden with Michael Shell Mayor. Not yet, we'll wait 1 more year. But but we have this land, this acreage, 500 to 1,000 acres. We have our outdoor civic center is what I'd like. I call it a civic center because I want us to have a civic center at some point. But outdoors is fine. We can have outdoor events. We're never going to have big name talent come to Gadsden if we can't sell 10, 15,000 tickets.
We got Jeff Underwood.
Okay, that's good. We appreciate Jeff. But we can do better. And here's another thing that I love about having this setup, the outdoor venue. And I hate using that word because of the venue. We'll talk about that later. This outdoor location. Because we could have a community church service 2 or 3 times a year. that might bring revival to Gadsden. Church is important. I've not always attended church. I was not always a Christian. But church is important. Maybe people would come to one of our services that we would have maybe have church all day, have 10 pastors, have 10 sermons. If you don't like one sermon, you go check out and come back in for the next sermon.
That's what people do with their church membership now.
Exactly, yes.
Right about that. Yes.
So
your pastor would amen that very quickly, Michael.
He would.
Jason. Yes.
Jason's all over that.
We love Jason Ellen. We appreciate him at Wills Creek.
Let's get straight to the venue. Is there some distastefulness coming from you?
The remodeled Kmart, $12 million.
The remodel. You talking about Blue Light Baptist
Kmart
Church?
Baptist?
Kmart Baptist Church?
Oh, you're talking about the venue.
Oh, the
You
venue.
said venue.
Yeah, venue.
Did I miss something?
No.
Kmart.
You said Kmart. I'm a Rainbow City Italic guy. I thought we're talking about Blue Light Baptist Church behind me.
No. The venue in Gadsden on George Wallace
Absolutely.
Drive is a remodeled Kmart.
Yeah, it is.
It is.
Some people wouldn't know that. Most people would.
Yeah.
But $12 million of borrowed money. Now, did it turn out pretty nice? Absolutely.
Gorgeous.
With Michael Shell Mayor, we're going to hopefully, and I believe we can, sell that property to a hotel conglomerate. Hilton, Hyatt,
Trump.
Marriott. A Trump hotel. Would that be great?
Put me on payroll. Baby.
We need a hotel associated with that. So we have a hotel and convention center, which is perfect for that. There's no hotel right there. Where City Hall is would be a perfect location for a hotel. That City Hall building needs to be demolished.
I think that's a platform that everyone will agree upon.
Has that been shared? Oh, well, good.
That's trash.
Good.
To be honest with you.
We need a new City Hall.
We need a new City Hall.
And
Absolutely.
one thing that I am looking forward to is the debate. You mentioned having a debate with the mayor candidates. I'm looking forward to that.
But careful, because it's going to be at the venue.
That's okay. That's okay. We've never had a mayor debate that I'm aware of in Gadsden.
I'm neither one. That's why Jeff and I were
So
drinking coffee late one night, and we said, you know what? Let's get everyone together and just debate.
And it'll be at the venue.
And everybody seems to be on board so far.
So far, bar none, they said yes, they're in.
And we don't have a date or time, but we'll have that in a future time.
It's going to be in it's going to be in March, and I'll get with Scott Elkins today and book it down.
Whatever it is, I will be here. If I
load.
If I have to take off for a week to be here, I will take off. But whatever will be,
sir.
Because that's important. We're not electing a class president. We're electing a mayor. My 10-point plan, bottom line, and I've said it, this is almost stupid. And it's my plan. And I'm saying but it's stupid in the sense that I've got to run on something. Every one of these things should be done already. There's nothing on this plan that's outrageous. Eliminating the 2% employment tax, term limits, growth-minded council members. Is that an outrageous idea? Hell no. That's pretty simple.
That's that Baptist in my
build the 25-person venue, outdoor. We're on that one. A regional airport, dedicated routes. Streamline the building process. Now, I want to camp on this one just 1 minute, and you help with any questions you want to throw in.
I'll have some.
You cannot build a house in Gadsden on a 50-foot lot. Now, the city of Gadsden has tore down thousands of houses that existed for many, many years, dozens of years, maybe even 100 years on 50-foot lots. Now, by decree, you cannot build a house on a 50-foot lot. With Michael Shell Mayor, not only can you build a house on a 50-foot lot, we want to encourage you to build houses. House building is jobs.
No question.
You've got the groundwork, the prep work, the block work, the concrete work, the building work, the electrical work, the plumbing work, the roofing work, the painting. I hate painting. I've been doing some of that. But all these jobs, building is jobs.
You know who can get behind that? Trent Thrasher at Trent Thrasher Construction.
Is he a sponsor?
He is now.
Okay, very good.
His wife is a sponsor.
Be a sponsor here. Hey, we need to support this radio show. It's internet show, whatever we call this. This is a medium that works for Gadsden. These guys,
thank you,
Jeff and Jerry, take their time to do that, and we appreciate you. We really. I'm not just saying that gratuitously. We've had a void of media. What I've often said, the media is 97.3% dedicated Democrats. I'm not asking you which party you're associated with, but you're open-minded enough to have ideas expressed, and that is what we appreciate.
Well, I think, let's talk media for a second, because I've been involved in the media for a long time. I think there's been 3 tremendous members of the media in Etowah County for a long time. Unfortunately, Dave Fitz has passed, right? The legend Dave Fitz was amazing. We still have Harry Butler, doesn't do as much anymore, but Harry Butler. And we have Ray Estes, still does a morning show. He is a legend. I don't just mean old, because he is, but he is a legend. So there's been a true, Dave Fitz used to be the voice of all things political, all things news. Man, I miss that man.
Yeah, Dave Fitz.
Absolutely, man.
Him.
Absolutely. So to your point.
But that's excellent. Streamline the building process. So that was point number 6. I like keeping these points in order. I know these things in my head, but I like talking about them in order for a presentation. We're okay on time?
Absolutely.
It's my wife. You're good.
Oh, okay, good. We talked about this a little bit before the show. If you want to start a business in Gadsden, it's cumbersome, to say the least. And that's putting it modestly as I can say. For the first 24 months with Michael Shell Mayor, we're going to put a sale on business licenses. If you want to start a business in Gadsden, a $100 bill get you, except Pilgrim's Pride. Pilgrim's Pride is never welcomed in Gadsden. We haven't even talked about the rendering plan. They don't need to. We're opposed to it.
It's dead now.
Yeah, but they're still going to be coming around. They're going to still be knocking on our door, I do believe.
I think it's dead.
But it's dead. And we don't need Pilgrim's Pride.
Amen.
If we, especially, and my big point all along was at our airport. Can you imagine opening the door on a jet after you just left Chicago and get off and you smell all this chicken?
Well, of course, as deadly as Chicago is, you're lucky you got on the plane.
Well, okay, that's true too. You're happy to get out of the Windy City. So we can do better without a rendering plan. It would have been different if Pilgrim's Pride had come here and said, we want to have a rendering plan in Gadsden. You've got Cook Foods. I think next door to Cook would be a good location. I live on Nunley Avenue in East Gadsden. Harley Cutchins. I don't know if y'all knew a policeman. You knew Harley. I own his old house. Harley passed away some years ago. Loved Harley.
Did he take you in a couple times?
No.
One of the best stories Harley ever told me at the Kmart where the venue is. He was he's a friendly guy. He was an officer, but he was talking to a guy. He took pictures as well. He was a photographer. And he talked to a guy and run into him in Kmart and said, "Where do I know you from?" Thinking he took pictures. Said, "No, you put me in jail one night." But he was that kind of guy. Even though he'd put the guy in jail, he could still have a dialogue and talk with him.
That's what being an adult is, right?
Yes,
supposed to be.
Yes. So we can do better in Gadsden. We will make Gadsden grow with Michael Shell. Yes, and I try to put it a brand new 100% Republican growth-minded council.
Get it back to the
growth.
Airport. The airport with the connecting flights.
Growth at our airport. Okay, I like this.
Work with the runway situation that we have there now. We have one that obviously
6,800 feet.
Very large.
Yes. Trump could land his airplane. Not air. You'd be pushing it to get Air Force One on there. We probably need to add a couple of thousand feet for Air Force. Tom Deal is a CFI. I've got a few hours in a Cessna with Tom. Tom might be up 40,000 feet right now in a citation, but we appreciate Tom. We can do better with our air. We've got to. We had connecting flights years ago. We've had, many people don't know that, but we've had connecting flights in Gadsden up until the 90s somewhere. I was off in the Navy at that time, so I don't know what
Thank you for
year
your
they.
service, sir.
Yes, well, appreciate that. But we can have, here's the bottom line. No business person, big company, is going to come from Chicago, from New York, from L.A., Seattle, and do business in Gadsden if they cannot get off an airplane, get back on the airplane, and go back to their headquarters. It ain't going to happen. What you say? Well, they could fly into Birmingham. Well, if they fly into Birmingham, they're going to do business in Birmingham. And Birmingham's got their own problems too. They need to grow. Shuttlesworth is okay. I go to the Philippines. When I go to the Philippines, I've got to go to Birmingham or Atlanta to get on an airplane. Then I've got to go 13 hours from Atlanta to Seoul, South Korea, and then 5 hours from Seoul to Manila. And then another hour from Manila down to Tacloban. And then 3 hours by a little Toyota van to get to where Michelle lives at. So I know a little bit about travel. I've been in 20 different countries. I've traveled every state. What makes me unique as your mayor is I'm not necessarily just from Gadsden. Was I born here in the Holy Name Hospital? Yes.
Oh, yeah.
But I've lived my life all over the world. And so we need some unique perspectives, not just my biggest resume enhancement is I'm a lifelong native of Gadsden. If that's your best resume enhancement, use that. But don't let that be your best number one point.
Well, I mean, you kind of segued into Streamline, the building process, renovate homes, and then talking about enticing business to come here with the airport, having a connection or regional airport. So let's talk about simplifying the city sign ordinance, where some of you business owners that are our friends can
Brutal. It's brutal.
Talk to. So talk a little bit about that. What is it now, and why is it so difficult to
Cutting red tape. Yeah. We need to simplify.
Right.
Simplify. Did I say simple? We make it simple. Here's our simple sign ordinance. Craig Ford, you ever heard of Craig Ford? He owns the Messenger.
We know him.
You know Craig. Love Craig. We disagree with him many things, but he's a good man and we appreciate him. He owns the Messenger. We've got the Gadsden Times owned by the New York Times. If you can print your sign, and you should, in the Gadsden Messenger or Gadsden Times, it is approved. It's that simple. They've got their own editors. They're not going to print anything that's going to put them in jail. So you need to be advertising. So if you can print, and you will print your sign in the Messenger or the Gadsden Times, it's approved. It's that simple. We don't need we don't need bureaucracy in government to manage business. I'll give you a simple one. We got fireworks sales going on right now for the new year. If you wanted to start a business this week to sell fireworks, you'd have difficulty, probably impossible to get it done in Gadsden because of all the bureaucracy you'd have to go through. With Michael Shell Mayor, if you had a whole truckload of fireworks, you could have bought truckloads, maybe more than one, and you could do a business. You could go buy a license today and be in business this afternoon or tomorrow. We're going to make it simple to do business.
And if you can't do that, I know a guy that can bootleg you some fireworks.
No.
So we can make.
We're not doing that.
Jerry does.
But my bottom line is we want to make it easy to. We want to attract business. We also want to help existing businesses.
That's a key point.
Now I know a common way of attracting businesses, you've got to give tax incentives and stuff, and maybe we'll have to do that. I'm not opposed to that where we need to. It pays off in the long run, with especially a large business, large being 100, 500 to 1,000 employee business. But if we're going to do that, and we will, we want to help our existing business. Maybe the digital billboards, I think about that. I don't want the city owning stuff, but if we can negotiate a great contract that every business in Gadsden could be on a digital billboard, have 3, 4, 5 of them, it could play on the internet, different things. There's all kind of things we could do. One real quick thing, insurance. Some people have had insurance problems having medical insurance.
Sure.
I want to have a group policy for Gadsden that every citizen in Gadsden could be on this group policy. We're not going to have anything to do with it. It'll be through the insurer. They'll go to a website. They can sign up, have to be a resident of Gadsden because I'm promoting Gadsden. So this would be simple. It would be a group policy like you'd have for your job.
Sure.
But it would not be tied to your job. It would be your insurance regardless of what job you did.
Well, I think it's tied to my paycheck because they take a big cut.
Yeah, they do. It's
Blue Cross,
expensive.
Blue Shield,
and we've got to compare rates, plans, and get all that worked. But that's just one little detail.
Let me throw a question at you. I want to make sure I get this right.
256 Gadsden, by the way.
What is your plan to be able for the city of Gadsden to work with Etowah County Commission?
Well, I wish they'd give me something to go on Pacific. I like Sheriff Horton. Sheriff Horton, as most people know, is a Navy guy. He was in in San Diego. I was in Norfolk. So we appreciate.
You couldn't be further away from each other.
We're going to be closer in Gadsden. We're going to have a good relationship with Sheriff Horton.
Yeah.
And
but unfortunately,
we've got to do better.
Sheriff Horton has nothing to do with the county commission.
So the commissioners, it's like I don't know a lot about them, to be honest with you. And that's a whole big problem.
Sure. Exactly.
A lot of this, it's not just that it gets talked about as behind closed door deals.
Executive sessions.
But we don't see a lot. Gadsden, I'm going to come back to the commission in just a minute. Gadsden has their weekly show. It's a council meeting. The council meeting takes place at 10 o'clock. The show takes place at 11.
Amen.
We're going to do different with Michael Shell Mayor. We're going to have a council meeting that is, we'll have an outline, maybe like this, what we're going to talk about, but the meeting will take place live. It will not be predetermined at 10 o'clock and then have a show at 11. We're going to have a real meeting with real dialogue like what we're doing. Mm-hmm. Whatever happens, and that's always interesting. The commission, I don't know.
I'm going to take my lunch to watch that, my guy.
Some excitement in Gadsden for a change. Oh, what are you doing today? We're going to go to the city council meeting. Sell tickets.
I like it.
And, then we'll go to the venue. And
we will be there.
But
dilly.
The commissioners, I'll give them credit for this. They had the wisdom to say no to Pilgrim's Pride. That's one thing I can say.
Most of them did.
A majority. A majority said no to Pilgrim's Pride.
Absolutely.
The mayor and the council didn't have that same wisdom.
Well, in my understanding that the mayor has no say. This city is really ran by the council, and the mayor doesn't even get a vote unless it's a tied thing.
And he should. I've said this for years. Mm-hmm. The council could change this tonight. They don't want to do it. My 10-point plan,
we're adding points.
11.
Point 11.
It could be 100 points. It really could. We're in bad shape in a lot of ways. But these 10 will This is simple. This is common sense stuff. But should the mayor have a vote? Absolutely. Even Sherman. Even Sherman should have a vote. He should have.
Since he's the mayor.
Yeah, that's right.
It makes sense that the mayor gets a vote.
But you're right. The mayor sets the tone.
Sure.
But what's been the tone of Gadsden for the last 18 months?
Well, from the council
Stop the rendering plant. That's been the tone of Gadsden. And that's united Gadsden more than any single thing I have ever seen. Not just Gadsden, Etowah County.
Absolutely.
But stop the rendering plant. That's how I learned of your show. If it hadn't been for the rendering, I'm not really a sports guy. I could BS and tell you, I say may the best team win. I was a band baby at Glencoe. I carried a trombone.
Glencoe, you say?
Glencoe, 1980.
J.D. Jennings?
He's all with J.D. and
Ed.
Yes. The football guys.
I was thinking you're more
I was on the football field, but I was carrying I didn't say playing. I said carrying a trombone.
Hey, my son is a member of the Jacksonville State University marching band. He's going to be a high school band director.
He's a band baby, too. Good.
He's a big head bearded.
They called us band babies back when I was in high school.
You doing it.
I'm sorry, Bailey. Whichever way you.
He can play it. Whatever.
What are you playing?
What does he play?
He plays the mellophone while he's marching.
Oh, okay.
The French horn and concert season.
Music is great.
And he can play everything. I play the radio fantastically well.
Yeah, I'm like a
job at that,
and
when we're driving the golf.
this has been a great. I tell you, I've really enjoyed being
Thank
here.
you so much
We'll do it again. We're looking forward to the debate with ideas. The debate moderators, right here. Okay, excellent. Because you are.
Well, we don't get a vote in the election, so it makes sense.
That's perfect. You don't have a horse in the race.
Exactly right. That's why we thought it'd be very fair. We're going to ask probing questions. The only rules we ain't going to talk about nobody's mama. We're going to keep it civil.
Sure.
You are from East Gadsden.
You notice
I love the truck on the sign, by the way.
Yes, Michael Shell Mayor.
I like that.
I didn't mention much about my wife family.
You better.
It's important, but for this job, you want a mayor. Yeah, you don't care about my family. I've got kids, got grandkids.
Sure.
But that's okay. They're not in the race. I'm in the race. Michael Shell will be the mayor. You may say that live, but we know at your house, if it's a strong marriage, I will not have a time, very rarely, if ever, that I do not have a comment for the people. Every week, since the rendering plant, before Sherman was pretty loud. He always had something, get a job, got people's too lazy, all this kind of crap.
And I think that's still a fair point.
It is a fair point.
But the way he says it, his attitude, the attitude of Gadsden is going to change with Michael Shellman. Do we have lazy people in Gadsden? Sure, everywhere.
I try to be one. My wife don't let me.
Yeah, looking at these demographic numbers, you got a lot of lazy people in Gadsden.
We got some. We've got some. Here's the thing. Here's the truth. Gadsden is as good as it is because of the citizens of Gadsden,
100%.
Not because of the government. The city government does not make Gadsden
good.
The citizens of Gadsden make Gadsden.
100%.
And most people want to do better. But I know this. I've grew up with it my whole life. People fear the government. They try to take the path of least resistance. They don't want to piss anybody off at City Hall. Well, I don't either.
That's my strength. It's my superpower. Hey, listen to this, Jeff. I want you to we're going to let you have a closing statement. Yep. Then you can love on our sponsors a little bit.
All right.
And I'm not going to say another word.
Please, Lord. It ain't going to be true, but thank you, Lord.
Mr. And the closing statement. Well, thank you for being here today. Thank you for listening. I would not have, I'm really not a sports guy, so I would not have known about this if it hadn't been for the rendering plant.
God bless the rendering plant.
Problems in life often produce the results we never expected, positive results.
Sure.
The negativity of the rendering plant has unified the people of Gadsden and Etowah County more than any single thing in my 60-year lifetime. And that's great. Are we opposed to the rendering plant? 100%. We might have a different rendering plant next to Cook Foods. I could cope with something of that magnitude, but it damn sure will not be Pilgrim's Pride. I've looked at Pilgrim's Pride. Their record for bullying their way into any city, for fines, just stupid stuff. It's amazing they're even in business. So we don't want Pilgrim's Pride. Albertville has a Pilgrim's Pride location. They can go to Albertville. Chattanooga, have at it. You put a Pilgrim's Pride right beside the airport in Chattanooga. But no, we love every one of you. I don't know every one of you, but I love even my enemies, not by choice. I love you because as a Christian, God demands that we love our enemies. And I say that not to brag on me. We all need to do that a little. Some of you don't love me. Some of you hate me, I think. Maybe not.
How can they hate you?
But we don't need to hate. Hate is a word we need to take out of our words, out of our vocabulary, out of our speech. We do not need to hate. And can I mandate that as mayor? No. Now we're not going to say the word hate in Gadsden. No, that's not. We don't do. A lot of these problems, a lot of our problems are spiritual problems in nature. You know, we've talked about 10 points to make Gadsden grow again, eliminating the employment tax, flights at our airport, a simple sign ordinance, all these things. 256 Gadsden, by the way. But we can do better when we put God first in our life. And the pieces of the puzzle really fall together when we have the right order vertically. When we're right vertically with Jesus, things become better horizontally. And that is my prayer for Gadsden. Not only to be mayor, but we make Gadsden grow again, of course, but see everybody, a revival take place. I would have thought, and you know, y'all are Christians as well, so you understand. During this rough time we've had with the China virus, I know it's COVID, but I like China virus. I don't like China virus. I like the term China virus. Let's be sure to clarify. Nobody likes the China virus.
We knew.
I would have thought we'd have heard or seen a lot of revival, but I have not experienced or talked to anybody that says, I've become a Christian in the last year, the last 18 months, because I've learned to fear God. You know, I worried about dying. I haven't seen that. And I pray that will happen yet. But I appreciate y'all being here. Michael Shelver, Mayor, Box 2537, Gadsden, Alabama, 35903. Phone number 256 Gadsden. God bless you. Thank you for being here with us today.
Thank you, Michael. I will say this in closing. It's an honor to have Michael be here with us, but to something to unite Gadsden is a rendering plant. That's sad. You would think as many churches that are in this county that Jesus will be the unifying factor. But that's just me. Nonetheless, thank you to our sponsors. We're so thankful for Joey Statham and everything that you do for us. If you have any real estate needs, want to buy some property, want to sell your home, Joey, hey, if you just want to get some comps, Joey can tell you what your home's worth, get it figured out for you. Give Joey a call at 256-494-7544. And our friends at Butler Electric, thank you, Mac Butler, for everything you do for us. You're a good friend to us and always have been, and we appreciate it. Hey, they'll treat you right. Anything you need electric done in your home or business, or if you're looking at starting a business, he can hook you up and help you out. Thank you so much to our friends at Moss Heating and Cooling. Anything you need heating and cooling wise, they can take care of you. Hey, it's getting that time of year where it's hot probably figuring out, hey, my air conditioner needs to be fixed. Well, they can help you out there. And then our good friends at Clinic 5, thank you to everything you do to get people's mental health right and get them taken care of with addiction. Give them a call, 256-952-2709, or you can visit them simply by going to clinic, spell out the word 5, clinic5.com. And Craig Ford for Mayor Gadsden, thank you to all of our sponsors. And Michael's saying no, but thank you guys to our sponsors. We're so thankful. And thank you for everybody that has reached out in the last couple of days asking about sponsorship. We're so appreciative to you and everything you do about getting the word out about what's going on in Etowah County. Mike Michelle is here, and he's asking for your vote, City of Gadsden. Stay close, stay clean, love each other the way God loves you.